Hey guys, are you tired of having your percussion sound just like everybody else? Well, if you want to stand from the crowd, this video is just for you. Let's go! Today, I will show you how to make your own percussion using Serum. We'll be doing a clap sound and then we'll make a beautiful shaker. The amazing thing about both of these sounds is that you can always modify them to your liking and change them the way you want to, thus always having your own original sound. So let's open up Serum and we're gonna start as follows. Both of these sounds are really simple, but they only sound hard. So we're gonna turn off the oscillator A as the first thing, and we're gonna turn on the noise oscillator. And over here, we're gonna go to the analog section and we're gonna click on ARP circuit. This is one of my most favorite sounds for clap, by the way. Now, first thing, we're gonna turn the level down, take the LFO1 and put it on the level. We could just leave it as is on 100%. Then we're gonna create this really weird shape. And while you're looking at this, maybe you can already give this video a subscribe, guys, because there's much more coming in the future. So sort of like this. Then we're gonna turn off the BPM and set the rate to our liking. Let's see how this clap sounds now. Ah, something is wrong. Well, the problem is we have it set to off. We need to change it to envelope so it only repeats from start till the end only once when I push the button. Let's try again. Okay, that's very similar sounding to a clap sound that we're looking for. Let's try to slow it down a little. Well, let's make that shape a little bit sharper here. There we go. All right, next up, that what we need to do is go to the FX section. Over here, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to turn on the distortion and just leave it as is. Just so it's, a little bit more crunchy. If you want, you can actually add more drive, but let's just leave it somewhere here. Because the clap sound is not equal all over the spectrum, we want to turn on the EQ. On the first one, we're going to add a bell at around 1000 Hertz. And we're going to increase the gain and decrease the Q. Now it's starting to sound like that clap, huh? And lastly, I always like to add a little bit of sparkle on the high end. Just not too much. Okay, let's move the EQ up over here. And now, if you want to make this clap a little bit wider, you can always use the hyper dimension. You're gonna put this mix all the way down, put the size here to about 5 to 6%, and then increase the mix. So that's the version 1, but I don't like it much because it sounds a little bit phasey. So I have a little bit of a better trick. You turn on the delay, and on the delay, you turn off the BPM. And you put the left side down to 1 and the right side to 9 to 8 milliseconds. You can leave this little EQ section as is and turn the mix all the way up and feedback all the way down. And now you can hear it, but now one of the sides is a little bit later than the first one. So it's resulting in something called Haas effect. Your ears basically perceive the sound as being stereo, but it's just one side is a little bit later than the other one. Now to finish it off, we can add a little bit of reverb. Now I always like a shorter decay at around 1.2 seconds. That's just enough. Decrease the low cut, decrease the high cut, and increase the mix up to your liking. Beauty. And if you really want to make it super snappy, you can add a compressor here on top, increase the attack, decrease the release, and just play. Now, it wouldn't be all if we didn't add a little bit extra. And what we're gonna do is just to add a little bit of filtering here. We're gonna go for normal and we're gonna go for high 24 because we just want to roll off some of that low end. Then you can increase the drive. Remember that you can always play with this rate, okay? If you play with the rate, you can make some really weird claps. Snappy. And of course, you can come over here and you can change the pitch of your sample. Just be very gentle with it, okay? Consider it being a woman and you're giving it a flower, okay? Now, you can also change the noise so for something else. And they will always sound differently. So play around and let me know how many crazy claps you came up with. By the way, guys, if you like this video so far, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe and hit that bell button so you won't miss any future uploads. I'm trying to upload every week, but if you want more, just check out my Patreon. It's patreon.com/ReOrderDJ. All the links are in the description. And now let's look at how to make the shaker. So now let's again initialize this preset so we have nothing there. Turning off the oscillator A, and again we're going to be working with the noise. For the shakers I like to use the bright white because there, you know, it's a little bit sharper. So let's pick the analog again and the bright white noise. This is how it sounds on its own. But we can turn this into a beautiful shaker, trust me. So same as last time, I'm going to turn the volume down, take the LFO1, place it on top. This time we are not going to be using the envelope, we're going to be using the trigger because we want the sound to constantly repeat as a shaker. You know, the shaker sound. So that's what we're looking for. Now it's just doing this. Now make sure that your grid is set to 4, like this. Hold the shift on your keyboard and just make 4 equal parts, just like this. There's no magic to it. It's pretty simple. Now this will be sounding similarly to what we're looking for. It's something that you already know. But what I'm going to do is add this little point over here. And I'm going to highlight all of these and move them slightly to the right, just like this. Exactly close to what we're looking for. Now let's take the first one, put it a little bit sharper here. Now imagine that this is like a real shaker, so it would sound sort of like this. You know, the attack would be a little bit smoother. Maybe this note will be a little bit longer. This one will be a little bit sharper. And finally getting somewhere. Now, if you want to make the whole thing a little bit louder, you can highlight these 4 notes and just lift it up. If you want to have a little bit of hi-hat in the middle, you can always take this one and do it just this way. It's pretty simple. Now, if you want to add a little bit more swing, let's pull this one a little lower and highlight these 2 notes. Now I'm just gonna swipe them a little bit to the right to create that sort of swing in there. Let's have, maybe I will put them a little bit lower than our main one. And now if I just move this one and this one over here, we're getting a little bit more swing. Now we are not finished with the sound, we still want to play around. One thing that I like to use over here again is the high filter. So I'm going to click on the high 24 and turn it on for our noise oscillator. Put the Q all the way down, increase the drive, and then put the cutoff a little bit higher. Now when you play around with this, you can see you can really color the sounds to your liking. Now let's go to the FX section. Again, we're going to be turning on the distortion just so it's a little bit nicer. And then we're going to add a delay. Now for this one, you can choose whatever you like. I like to use the 1/8 and 1/8 dotted and then just use it only on the high end sort of. Leave the feedback as is, add a little bit more mix. This will make it a little bit more stereo and it's just going to give it more life. Beauty, absolutely love it. All right, and now if you want to finish it all up, again, add a little bit of EQ and you can color the sound. Exactly the way you like it. To add a little bit more sharpness, you can increase the gain on the high end. Pretty neat, right? Now, how about we check how this shaker and our clap sound in the real track. So, that's it. We made our own shaker and we made our own clap. In the next video, I'm gonna show you how I made that kick and the bass line for this. So stay tuned, it's coming soon. Thank you very much for watching. And as always, before you go and you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and make sure to hit the bell button so you won't miss the next upload. Thanks again, and have a nice day, guys. Ciao. And as usual, if you're still watching, check out my Patreon, where I have already uploaded this little project for you to use and have fun with. And that's really it. There's no more today, but there will be so many new videos coming soon.